What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Beacon. Last night in stream, we were playing some Pokemon Pocket, and I made a new Alakazam deck that I really liked a lot. I like a lot of things about this deck. One of the things is you don't use any EX Pokemon. And two, it seems like it could be a good counter for a lot of the OP decks in the game right now, like Mewtwo, Gardevoir, because we're dealing damage depending how many energy are on the opposing Pokemon. One of the most important things with this deck is we want to make sure we're protecting Abra as much as possible so we can evolve it into Alakazam. So you want to really kind of start with Kangaskhan first and let Kangaskhan deal some damage, absorb some hits. And by the time Alakazam is ready to come out, your opponent probably will have a lot of energy in the field already, and then you can hit really hard with Alakazam. I only played one game with Alakazam last night, and we faced a Charizard EX deck, and we ended up winning. I'm not saying this deck's going to be super viable, but I'm always looking for decks that are not meta decks, because I really enjoy running things that aren't super broken. If you guys want to drop a like on this, I'd really appreciate it. I haven't really made a lot of content like this, so this is very new for me, but I hope you guys all enjoy. I'm going to try my Alakazam deck. I don't think this deck's going to do very well, but I'm not going to know until I try, like, good at all. It's probably going to be bad. So I'm talking to my chat here. I'm not trying to have that be too much of a focal point of the video, but we win the coin flip. We get Kangaskhan in my hand, which is really huge. So we start with Kangaskhan on the field. That's a really great start for this deck too. In a perfect world, I'd also have an Abra in my hand here, or I'd have a Pokeball, which would let me find a basic Pokemon from my deck, and I'd be able to get an Abra that way. But we don't have that, so we just got to rely on hopefully drawing an Abra here. So this is when I realized we're playing into a Charizard deck, which honestly kind of excited me a lot because I know that Charizard requires a lot of energy to attack. So we didn't get a Pokeball or an Abra, but luckily we got a Professor's Research, which will allow us to draw 2 cards. Hopefully we draw a Pokeball or an Abra. We don't. However, luckily we do get an Alakazam, so hopefully we don't get red carded before we draw Abra, but we're going to hold on to this in the hopes that we can evolve into it. What really sucks right now is we have no more basic Pokemon, so we just got to end our turn, and so hopefully we draw an Abra next turn. So our opponent used Professor's Research to draw 2 cards and put an energy on Charmander. We draw a Kangaskhan on our turn. So we put Kangaskhan on the bench. My hope is he didn't put any basic Pokemon out, so we have Kangaskhan out right now. We put an energy on Kangaskhan, and Dizzy Punch, you flip 2 coins, and if they land on heads both times, we'll deal 60 damage to Charmander. So I'm hoping we can actually finish this game turn 1, but that doesn't end up happening. So unfortunately, we did no damage. I end my turn. My opponent's going to evolve their Charmander into Charmeleon and put another Charmander in the bench, and they're going to put 1 more energy on their front Charmeleon. So they are building up that Charmeleon a lot. So now it's our turn. We're going to get so lucky, and we're going to draw a Pokeball with the hopes that we can actually play this and get an Abra from our deck. And we do. Luckily, we get an Abra from our deck. Now I'm thinking we're going to be able to get Alakazam hopefully built up. And then the enemy Charmeleon is going to have a ton of energy on it, and we can deal a ton of damage. So my plan is I'm going to Sabrina, and I'm going to bring the enemy Charmander from the back out. Because if we get 2 heads of Dizzy Punch, we can knock that out in 1 hit, and then that'll give us a point. And then if Alakazam comes out later, and we take out the Charizard EX, that would be able to be 3 points and we win the game. So I'm trying to use Sabrina. He's got to bring out his Charmander from the back line. The Charmander comes out. We're going to roll for Dizzy Punch. And unfortunately, we're only going to get 1 head, 1 tails. But we still do 30 damage and we still have Abra on the bench, so I'm not sweating too much. So now it's going to be my opponent's turn again. They bring out Charizard EX. They have the immersive one. It's very beautiful. I love that card. But I'm kind of excited about this because I know it's going to use a lot of energy, and we can use that energy against him with Alakazam. I'm just kind of waiting for him, biding my time. Charizard comes out. He's going to put 1 more energy on Charizard because they X-speeded. And then he'll attack for 60 with Slash, and my Kangaskhan is going to be left with 40 HP. So the good thing about this, we draw a Pokeball, which we can use to get another Abra, hopefully, in my hand, which we successfully do. We're going to evolve my Abra into a Kadabra. We're going to put an energy on Kadabra, and we're going to try to slowly build that up. I'm getting pretty excited because I know we're probably going to get to have Alakazam, and I know we can deal a lot of damage to Charizard. So Kangaskhan only has 40 HP left. We put my next Abra that I use my Pokeball with on the bench. So my thought process at the time is we're going to leave Kangaskhan in. We're going to try to attack 1 more time, just deal some chip damage to Charizard, because next turn we're going to have Alakazam online. He's going to be ready to go. We get 1 heads, we get 1 tails. So we didn't get as much damage as I would have liked. I never get 2 heads with Kangaskhan, but it's okay. But if Charizard has 4 energy on it, we deal 180 damage to it. So we can knock that Charizard out with 1 hit, and that's going to be 2 points for us. So now it's my opponent's turn. He does something crazy. He red cards us. Or we have to reshuffle our hand into our deck, and luckily we draw another Alakazam. I was almost so scared we weren't going to. We actually draw 2 Alakazams, so he kind of helped us out a lot. So the best news is he puts another energy on Charizard, and then he's going to attack with Slash, so he saves his energies. If he would have attacked with his other move, he would have lost 2 energies, which means we would have done less damage with our attacks. So we're going to benefit next turn because he has 4 energy on that still. So now we got to send in a Pokemon from my bench. We're going to send in Kadabra. I'm not even sure if this guy knows what Alakazam does, but we're about to use those energy on that Charizard against him. We draw Professor's Research, and then we're going to play our Alakazam, and we're going to put an energy in Alakazam so we can now attack with our move. Before we attack, I'm going to play Professor's Research so we can draw Potion and an X speed. So the funniest thing kind of happened. I didn't realize we'd knock out Charizard in one hit, so I did my math wrong. So when I saw that we actually were going to do 180 damage, I was so shocked and so happy. You can just see the happiness on my face right now. It was an amazing feeling, dude. I love this deck so much. So at this point, we end my turn. We attacked. My opponent goes. They don't have a whole lot of options left, so they decide to concede, and we win the game. I'm going to play more with this deck to figure out how good it actually is, but I think this deck has a lot of potential. I might try to mess around with some different cards in the deck, but I think it's actually a pretty solid deck so far. So let me know if you guys play Alakazam. Let me know if you have any different cards you like to play, different sets. Thank you very much for watching. Please comment down below, drop a like in the video. Tons of love. Ta-ta for now. Beacon fam forever.